Today is Saturday, May 9th, right?
It is.
Something like that.
Yeah. So if you're unfortunate enough or dumb enough to listen to this after last week's episode 1, I have to do a very deep apology because holy fuck did I sound terrible. like Junior thought it was funny because he had listened to it. Al thought it was funny because he had listened to it. And I think because after about 4 or 5 Jack and Cokes and trying to get some points across with my friends, I didn't, I think I set the Guinness Book of World Records of like how many times you can say the word fuck in a 2-minute time period. So I part of me honestly wanted to like re-record it, but I'm like, you know what? After listening to enough podcasts through Joe or Kevin or like even Howard Stern or something, Joe would say any top, stand-up comic and stuff too, they go up there and sometimes you fucking bomb. You just go up there, you just eat a bag of dicks, you sound horrible, and honestly, you just gotta get better. So, to me, it's kind of like a motivation of like, yeah, this time, douchebag, stop staring at the fucking timer, stop dropping F-bombs so much, and just have a conversation as the kind of the point of podcasting is like, this is stuff that if these microphones weren't on, the conversation we'd be having anyway. We just happen to have a microphone with us, happen to have hopefully a kind of an audience and stuff, and trying to make people laugh. So I think for this week our topic is, well, you can't obviously go without talking about the Rona. So this is like what week? Is this week 8 or 9? I've lost track now.
That we've been shut down.
Yeah, I mean,
this is week 9.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to dwell on it, but like I said, too, the whole point, like I was telling Junior and Al last week, was like, people listen to this podcast. I'm listening to old Joe Rogan podcast from a decade ago. It's amazing seeing stuff like in 2012 compared to 2020. So, like, a year from now, we could listen back on this and like, hey, guys, this was like May 9th of 2020, and like, imagine May 9th of 2021. How things can be fucking different. So, I have no clue what the Rona, what the long-term side effects are going to be in terms of like our economy, our jobs, if we're going to be doing this a year from now, because who knows what's going to happen. So, fortunately, I'm still working. These guys, these 3, my sister, my cousin Susan, and still Will / Junior, they're not working at the moment because of circumstances, and they're still have some money coming in, but like I said, I can't complain about going to work every day because I know there is literally millions of people who aren't going to work, and there's hundreds of thousands of people who aren't getting paid right now. So my heart goes out to them. I feel bad for them, and nothing I can do about it. But like me and Alan Jr. said last week is that, hey, if you listen to this, like the point Jen and Sue I was telling we were doing the podcast is that, the thing is, I have my own money. You guys, for the most part, have your own money. Junior has his own money. There's people out there who are unemployed. They have no money. They have no resources. If you have no friggin' money, do not be donating to stupid shit, Give $5 to someone who's unemployed, to a church, to a school. Do something important, but don't hey, I haven't had a paycheck in 2 weeks and I'm going to hop on YouTube or TikTok and donate to some girl who's never worked a day in her life. No, but, give your money, feed your kids, man. Like I said, the point of this podcast too, which me and Jen talked about on a previous, sample recording is that, we'll be fine. We're doing this for fun, trying to get a couple listeners, make people laugh, say stupid shit and stuff too. But I'm not doing this for financial gain. I've got my own paycheck, got my own fucking bills, rent's paid, car insurance is paid, etc., etc. The 3 of these people too, their bills are paid for as well. We don't need your support. I mean, want to support me? Say thank you. To tag me on Facebook, once we get the Facebook going, the Twitter, the Instagram and stuff too. We just want to have fun. And like I said last week too, the point of me creating this too is that there is tons and tons of people I know, Susan knows, Jen knows, Junior knows, that are unemployed, they're struggling, and like a lot of people just want to sit back and listen to an hour to like people just sitting back bullshit and having fun, talk about stupid shit. So for the most part, said every week we kind of want to tackle different topics, and fortunately I have my sister and my cousin here who are 2 females, and Junior is here, and even though me and Junior
also a female.
Yeah, me and Junior have female tendencies, like the fact that we can't get females. So another reason the whole blue collar losers thing works well too is because let's be honest, me and Junior no one's accusing us of being fucking male models or anything. So
I'm fat as fuck,
and I haven't got laid since Obama was in office. So because Trump's in office, but yeah, another thing too is it's. Part of what me and Al Jr. talked about last week is this is gonna be raunchy humor. We're gonna talk about funny shit. Whether it's dropping nigger or saying faggot and just saying funny black jokes or gay jokes or female jokes, like any political
Or
thing
white people,
too.
white people in.
Yeah, exactly.
Fat jokes.
Plenty of fat. As I said, the four of us combined is a good metric ton. Let's be honest. Like
We just don't pick on skinny people because none of us know what that's like.
exactly.
He said a metric ton.
Pretty much. But like part of what I was saying too is if you are easily offended, you should probably turn this shit off right now. And we are not going to get fucking political. However, all four of us are big fucking fans of Lewis Black, like tens of millions of people out there. I don't give a fuck if it's Trump, if it's Hillary, if it's Biden, Bush, Clinton too. If the president acts like a douchebag, we're going to call it out. I'm not telling you to hate Trump or love Trump. I'm just saying, like, look, every president has done and said stupid shit, and we have a right to make fun of him. If we can't throw a couple of jabs at something stupid Trump says, then I'm not sure what to tell you. Which, of course, nowadays, too, it's like, people like, oh, well, if you make a joke against Trump, you're anti-Trump. I'm like, dude, he was on a Celebrity Apprentice and a reality show star way before he was president. So if I could joke on him before he was president, I can joke on him when he's during president. I have no problem hearing Obama jokes, or Clinton fucking jokes, or Bush jokes, or Dick Cheney jokes, whatever the case, Reagan jokes. Don't care, okay? So it's like, if you can't take a Trump joke, then turn the shit off then. Only thing I can tell you. So, but basically, every week we want to like tackle a topic, and of course you're going to stray from the topic, but because I have two females with me right now, so something I've always been fascinated with too, while also being comical, and I've seen different comics bust on this topic, is that the standard we have as a society about the double-edged standard between men and women, which we were talking about this before we pressed the record button, is that we all do it. You do it if you're a guy or if you're a girl, everybody does this double standard. And why is it so? It's like, Junior, if he told me to pass, this is the month of May, if the next month he says he fucks 10 women, I'm going to give him a high five. I'm going to think he's the fucking man. He's awesome. I'm so proud of him. My cousin's like, Chris, this past month I fucked 10 dudes. I'm like, Susan, you fucking whore. You're disgusting. Why would you fuck 10 guys for? And we all do it. I mean, I have a 12-year-old son right now. When I was 12 and 13 years old, I wanted to bang half my teachers in high school. I'm not going to fucking lie. You're 12 and 13. You got hormones raising. How often, though, too, do we see news articles where it's like, some hot 25, 26-year-old teacher is banging her 15, 16-year-old male student, and every guy on the internet's like, oh my god, dude, why'd you say something for her? Why'd you rat her out? And but overall, though, yes, some of these teachers are getting fired and they're getting jail time. But as a society's standpoint, as being a guy, as being a dude, when I hear about, hey, some 15-year-old fucked this teacher, that's awesome. I'm so fucking jealous. I'm proud of you, bro. Now, the roles were reversed. Say, for instance, a 25-year-old male teacher is fucking his 15-year-old female student. You want to cut the guy's balls off. You want to call him a piece of shit. Want to throw him in fucking prison.
Everything else.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a double-edged standard, and I'm not sure what it comes from. It's like, me, Susan, and Junior recently been talking about, catching up on Christopher Titus and stuff in Titus's old shows. And one part, like during episode 3 or 4, was the breakup. And basically when Titus and Aaron broke up for an afternoon, Titus kind of slept with the waitress, and she was heartbroken, but
we were on a break.
We're on a break and everything. But what's funny is like, he spent the whole day begging for her forgiveness and stuff, and trying Aaron to get over it. And now she owns my ass. Now I can I can do whatever I want with Titus and stuff. And eventually, as the episode goes by, it's kind of like, well, did you do something last night? And she goes, no, I didn't do anything. He goes, no, just tell me. I wouldn't care. She goes, oh, it happened last night. Don't worry about that. And he goes, no, just, we have to clean the air out. We have to, be honest, too. And she says, well, I spent the night at Jeff's place. He's like, you whore. But
he just fucked the waitress.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure, what do you guys feel like, what is this whole double-edged standard? It's not just the four of us. It's just as we're growing up, too. It's whenever you hear about, say, when a dude fucks 100 chicks, he's like the man. He's like an icon and stuff, too. A chick fucks 100 guys, she's the biggest slut the planet ever seen. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure why that is for.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy sex? So first of all, it's not fair.
True.
It's not fair. You guys can fuck, like you just said, like a million people, and we don't get to do that because we don't just get it from the next guy that we're gonna fuck. We get it from our girlfriends. If they don't approve, we get it from society. We get it from our, I don't know, I guess if you were open with your sex life with your parents or something, or like your brother, for example. Yeah. It's like, you don't just get it from like, oh, yeah, this is the telling your friends or your partner or something, or you got your ex. It comes from all over, and that's what it's just like just a shaming. from society, just from everywhere. It's not like I'm gonna jump on Facebook, hey, just fucked 5 or 6 guys last week. Like, but a guy could do that, and it's gonna be fine.
Yep, I would. I can't get a life. If I had 6'5" women this month, I'd be telling everybody I know. It's like and I'd probably be getting across the board, whether it's coworkers or friends. Dude, you're fucking awesome. Good for you, man. You know.
Yeah.
But if you guys did it, it's a whole different. It's just like I thought too. I'll catch up in a second, but another society's double standard.
I mean, I do have, like, well, name drop, but I have a couple girlfriends that are very promiscuous, and they just don't give a flying fuck what people think. They're like, okay, they literally get done fucking somebody else on to the next bar, and they go and they grab a hotel room, go back to her place, and then, okay, well, she's calling it a night tonight. Nope, she's back out, an hour later taking shots and ready to take somebody else home, and she has no shame in her game, and, you know, if anybody, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one who knows that she does that. She just doesn't give a flying fuck. She's going to get hers one way or another and however she wants, and I don't know.
See, my thing is, I don't care who it is you're having sex with, as long as no one else is getting hurt in the process.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm just saying,
Man or woman.
But like what Jen's saying too, was said, like, if you, if it said this month, say you slept with 10 different guys, would you feel okay talking about it? Would you feel okay? Like, would you feel subconsciously if I started telling people I'm going to be labeled as like some kind of major slut?
I could have sex with one guy, and be labeled a slut for sleeping with that one guy. So whether I have sex with one guy or having sex with 10 guys, it doesn't make a difference.
Well, true, because it's also the time frame. Like, wow, you just got out of a 3-year relationship. You didn't, wait any longer. So now you're a slut because you didn't wait. What's the set time? There's a set time? If I want to fuck, I want to fuck.
Specifically for females. And where a guy is concerned, a guy could literally leave his relationship and that same night have sex with, like, 5 different women.
Or just one. That's the thing. Or just one. And it, like, guys don't have to wait.
No, you're right.
But women, it's that double standard.
Like, wow, she moved on fast. She's a whore. Like, what the fuck?
I'll say, I mean, often too, like, you hear in Hollywood all the time, like some major celebrity, his wife dies in a car crash or something, His wife of, like, whatever, 1 year, 10 years and stuff too. His wife dies, and within, like, 2-3 months, he's got, like, a new girlfriend. Everyone's like, wow, good for him. He moved on, A woman, though, if her husband dies 10 years, if she, within the first year, has any kind of new boyfriend, that fucking piece of shit, whore, and blah, 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 and she's a scumbag, she's a slut, and it's like, all of a second.
Specifically also in, like, the mindset of looking at a celebrity in that way. If both people are celebrities, or if you're with someone and they make money of any type, they'll just say, oh, well, they were only with them because of the fact that they had money, so they should have had, like, something set up where they didn't get anything. And that's a perspective that a lot of people...
The other double standard I was thinking too, and we know it too, me and Junior know this, and all 4 of us know this. You ever noticed it too, that every woman out there can be bisexual, guys can only be gay. Simple as that. It's like, if a girl says I had sex with a woman, you're like, dudes are like, wow, that's interesting and stuff. You're bisexual, you try different
and a lot of guys think it's hot too.
Yeah. Okay, but even women to women, if you tell women you've been with women, they won't judge you. They're more acceptable. Guys, the second you say I sucked a dick, you're a fucking faggot. And forever, whether you sucked 1 dick or 20 dicks, forever you are considered gay. To most men, bisexuality only exists for females. It doesn't exist for guys.
See, for me personally, I've been spending the last week and a half watching Sons of Anarchy, and they make a lot of jokes about like when they go to prison. I'm sure you remember these jokes from watching the show, where they'll meet in like a closed hallway because they need to like get the aggression out and have sex.
Yeah.
So for me, if a guy sucks another guy's dick, doesn't mean he's gay. May not even mean he's bisexual.
He could be pansexual.
It may not even mean that. It may just mean that he's lonely.
Desperate.
And he needs that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the second though too. But if that gets out though, but then if a guy, whether it's in jail or not in jail too, if he's a straight man, if he experiments too with guys, say he's been straight his entire life and whatever, teens, 20s, 30 years old, if he even so much as kisses another fucking guy, he does everything in his power not to let anybody know about this shit. Because whether it's society...
And you're right, society doesn't view it the same.
Like I was just watching, like Ozark.
They don't.
I just watched Ozark season 1. One of the characters stuff too is, he's been straight, forever. He meets a guy and stuff too, and they kind of like, they find ways to sneak around, go in hotel rooms, and talk about it. The guy kisses him, calls him a fucking faggot and stuff, 2 punches him in the face. He goes, don't fucking tell anybody about this, I'll fucking kill you. You're obviously into fucking guys. You've been into guys. And he goes, this is FBI agent. And he said, at one point I found out you're like 18 years old and you were having like sex with male prostitutes. So you've always been this way. It's like, but you're scared to tell anybody else that this is how you are. And it's fucked up. Like I said, it's definitely double standard where I've been a victim to it as well. It's just like I said, if Junior told me he ever kissed a dude, I would look at him different. Like, not now, but before, it's like, that's really dude.
Junior, have you ever kissed a dude?
No.
I'm like real
space.
bisexual. I'm not like fake modern age bisexual. Like, oh, I'm saying it to get attention. No, I have had sex with females on several different occasions. And
High five, Jen.
You're fine. Like, and I'm not, it's not so, I don't flaunt it. It's not like somebody asked me my sexuality. I'm down to earth. I don't care. I'm going to tell them. But, there's also that whole stigma, like going back to like how men are viewed. Like, a lot of girls lie about it. They lie about it because they think it's cute. They think that they're going to get more attention. They think guys want to see two chicks make out. But at the same time, when it comes to, and I almost wonder, like, where these kind of social society, double standards come from. Yeah. So was it just, I don't know. I think it's more like a women insecurity.
Social media.
So, like, women are crazy. Yeah. We're all fucking nuts. Mm-hmm. But was it more like, a guy, typically, not in all cases, obviously, everybody's different, but a guy might not get as jealous, like there's things that two vaginas can do that two vaginas can never do. I mean, you got toys, you got things, but it's not
just
a
biology.
Penis,
That's how it is.
So, but the thing is, it's like, okay, well, no, because you could say that about guys too.
It's sensation.
I think it's girls just being crazy jealous. Like, now, just like a guy dating a bisexual girl, he has to worry about men and women. Yep. Girl's already crazy worried about women. Now she's going to have to worry about men, too. Yeah. She's really going to be off her rocker.
But even, too, as somebody who's been with different relationships, I mean, I won't lie. It's just like, cheating on somebody sucks, no matter how you put that. But, like, if your girlfriend's like, well, Chris, I slept with another girl, you're just, something about, she's like, I fucked another guy. You're like, man, you want nothing to do with her. You're probably not going to forgive her. You think she's a fucking slut or whatever. If she's, well, I had sex with another girl, you're like, it may bother you, but it's like you would forgive her 10 times easier if she had sex with a chick versus a guy.
Why is that, though?
Why? And I mean, I'm flat admitting to it.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe, I can only guess, maybe it's like you said, too. It's like, if she... unless she's using a strap on and stuff too, for the most part, there's only so much a woman can do. It's like when you feel like she has sex with another guy, it's like he's been inside of her, and God forbid they didn't use a condom neither and stuff too. If it's a different kind of, like, from a male point of view, almost like a violation. And plus too, again, I mean, as a guy, everyone has insecurities. All four of us do. Most people have insecurities and shit, no matter how you dress it up. But you still feel like, for the most part, well, it was with a girl I have nothing to compete with. The first thing, if any girl tells you, I don't give a fuck who you are out there, you can lie to yourself all you want. Whether it's your wife or girlfriend, when she fucks another guy, 99.9% of the time, the first thing the guy says is like, was he bigger than me? Was he bigger than me? And then he's like, okay, well, it's not important. No, was he bigger than me? Okay, and then, of course, was he better than me? Did he make you come more than me? Does he better fucking love her? That comparison, if my girlfriend cheats on me with a girl, I don't have to worry about her dick size. I don't have to worry about, could she please her better for the most part. I don't have to worry about, yes, technically speaking, she can catch an STD, but from a guy's standpoint, I feel like, when a guy's entering inside and stuff too, you have more chance of catching an STD from a guy versus a girl. Now, we all know
that's not true.
I'm saying, we know that's bullshit. I'm saying, but from a mental standpoint, I said, it's something about a man entering your girlfriend versus a girl putting her fingers inside of her. It's just differences of the whole biological aspect. You know what I mean?
It's physiological more than anything else. It's more physiological than it is
plus
physical. It's not, because if you sit there and, and the guy, let's say girl cheats on you with a guy, you say, it's from a mental standpoint, you're thinking certain things. But what it is, it's all most of the time when a woman cheats on a man, it's mental.
Well, yeah,
it's not physical. Like it's a mental thing. I'm not getting enough attention. You're not satisfying me outside of the physical. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, when guys question the physical part because they're insecure about their own physical parts.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Going back to what Jen was saying about women lying about certain things, like women lying about being bisexual, women lying about how many bodies they got. It's because of the fact that they're at the same time, they know how society looks at them.
Yeah.
A woman will go sit there and say, I will sit there and ask a girl, hey, how many guys you had sex with? That question's always going to come up. Whenever you're talking to somebody for the first time or the fifth time, you're going to ask that question. How many guys you slept with? They're always going to say 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to say 5. They're not, they're not going to say 10. They're not going to say 20. They're not going to say 30. They're going to say 2 or 3. Why? Because of the fact that they don't want to be viewed, because they're nervous that they're going to be viewed as a hoe or as a slut, or that, oh, I'm going to, I'm just going to, let's just say, for example, this is just me personally. I ask a female, how many girls you had sex with? How many guys you had sex with? If I ask any girl that, and they'd be like, if they were honest and told me like, yeah, I had sex with like 25 guys. I'm very sexually active. Me personally, I wouldn't care. I don't care about body count. I really don't, because at the end of the day, you're with me. As long as you're clean,
see, I'm all about honesty. If you had asked me that, I would have said, frankly, none of your business.
Yeah.
And I don't think I gave my number out since I was like probably 22. And there's been many bodies since then, let me tell you.
Yeah. But that's just the thing, though. It's just that, it's just, you're either going to say none of your business, or you're going to make up a number that makes sense, that won't let the guy look at you a certain way.
I mean, like I said, I'm all about honesty. I don't want to lie about it, but at the same time, it's just, I'm going to find the kindest way to say, not be a bitch, like, actually, none of your motherfucking business. No, I'm going to say, that was a time before you, and hey, I don't have STDs, so are we doing this or not? Or if we're already in a relationship or whatever, it's just kind of like, I don't want to know your number. You don't need to know my number. Yeah. We're just going to,
that's exactly how I feel. Well, me personally, I don't care. It
works in many ways as well, because say you don't have that much sexual experience. Say you've only been in like a long-term relationship for 10 years with the same guy.
Yep.
And that's all you've had.
Right. You might be judged for that.
Exactly. Or say you've only been with like 2 different guys. Then I honestly am going to say,
you're going to say 10.
I'd lie and say I'd do like the rule of 3 with it. And
I was
like
just about to say that too. Do you remember what movie that came from? I was just trying to Google.
That was from How I Met Your Mother.
It was?
Yeah. Barney.
Okay. The rule of 3 was like, it's also been in different rom-coms too and stuff too. It's always been like, the rule of 3. It's like women. There was How I Met Your Mother. It's like whatever number a woman gives you, it's 3 times more, and whatever number a guy gives you, it's 3 times less. So no, it's okay. So guys, like, I fucked 12 chicks. No, you didn't. You fucked 4. And girls like, I only had sex with 4 guys. No, you fucked 12.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm gonna look that up right now. But no,
that doesn't always apply.
But it's obviously a comedy show. But this is the premise too. Of say women will downplay the number, guys will upplay the number. Like I said, like it's the average person say, Chris, how many? Say I'm in a group of guys. We're just in a locker room. We're at work. And we're sitting there and stuff. Hey, Chris, how many chicks you fuck? I'm like 105. Like, dude, you're fucking awesome and stuff. I'm not gonna say I only fucked 3 chicks. Like, But women, though, too, if you're in a women's locker room, whether it's at work, whether it's a baseball game, basketball game, Jen, how many guys you fuck? Like, 2 or 3. Even though you're like, it could be 20, you're not going to tell that. You're not going to tell the group of girls, I fucked 20 guys. You're going to say, no, I fucked 2 or 3 guys. Because the second you say that 20 number, they'll look at you like, man, you're a fucking slut. Like,
the moment you hit double digits,
and then bitches be cray, and then bitches tell everybody, and then you ain't never going to get laid.
Exactly.
I think
that's not true.
And then you lose all your friends.
No, right?
It's just that guys, if guys hear about you and your body count and stuff like that, and this is one of the problems.
Usually.
No, they think that you're easy. A lot of guys think that, okay, if you had sex with this many guys, maybe I can slide in there and be number 21. I'm going to tell you something about a little bit, especially about this younger generation. Oh, yeah. This younger generation is stupid, and they are very sexually active.
Preach.
And the thing is just the fact that I'm going to tell you right now, the average body count with especially teenagers in this generation is at least 10. And you would think, wow, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But you would think being sexually active is not a bad thing. But if you are cheating, that's different. You know what I'm saying? You can have, if you're single, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I was partying, like, when I was doing the hardcore partying that I was doing like 8-9 years ago, like, I was into it. Like, man, I got stories for days about the hardcore partying that I was doing. There would be a bunch of parties that I would go to that I would set up and things like that, and girls would just throw pussy in my direction.
Side note, we'll do just an episode on Junior's partying days for future reference.
I mean, you could, but the thing is, though, it's just the fact that, but girls will never admit that they did that. They'll sit there and they'll, you know what I'm saying? But me, I'd be like, damn, I'm going around having sex with all these girls and stuff like that just because they want to get into these parties, just because they want to be like, oh, I'm trying to have the fun time that he has. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the thing that isn't understood more than anything is the fact that, you know, we have to understand that sex is it's not a connection to a relationship anymore. It's not.
No.
Sex used to be what started a relationship. Sex used to be what, you know, connected the relationship, which makes you more emotionally invested in a relationship.
So many people used to save sex for after marriage.
Exactly. I mean, sex used to be, honestly, you got frowned upon if you had sex before marriage back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
I mean,
but now...
Well, think about the Scarlet Letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just those people that kind of hold it so sacred are fewer and far between.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Nowadays,
you have to be like extremely religious to like do that.
Yep.
See, I've always said on the comedy side, when my last girlfriend, Mary broke down her numbers and stuff, which I won't say because I actually forgot, it's been so long. But like I say it from the comedy side, it's like, you know, I don't look down upon a woman. I'm just like, Jesus, if you had sex with 10 guys, like, how the fuck can I compete with that? Like,
See, 10 guys you're comparing yourself to.
Can I be number 11 and be satisfactory?
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. On my cell phone, because there's been a couple of hookups that I was just drunk, and it's both male and female on my list. But I'm like, oh shit, and then I'm like, wait a minute, so I have to go back, and there's literally like, guy at the hotel, Asian guy at the hotel, and like I have a list in my cell phone because I'll forget. Oh
yeah. You said Asian guy at the hotel? Fucking like,
I think he was Asian or half Asian. I don't know.
Say what?
They don't look the same.
I don't even know his name. Like,
Jen, they're
by the way, Korean
tiny.
women, y'all real tight, and I appreciate it.
That's something I wish definitely. Well, if Al comes down tomorrow, we can, 5 of us, we'll talk about the whole like the racism aspect and stuff, and like definitely, I would hear Al's aspect too with racism and sex with different people, but that's for like a different podcast. But so, but even also too, something when Jeremy was talking about, I also wanted to add to it as well. It's like another thing I think also too from the with the cheating out with a guy or girl. It also as well, if your girlfriend cheats with another girl, you also have to worry about if she fucked a dude, what if you got her pregnant? And when if she fucked another chick, that's not a factor. So I'm just saying, like, there's definitely multiple layers and stuff too of like my girlfriend cheated on me, I'm insecure because of XXXX reason, but yet the reason number 25 is, well, are you pregnant now or something? So
I mean, that's obviously, you know, a big thing because, you know, I know people have watched the Maury Show. I know people have watched Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos. You know, you watch all those shows where they sat there and they said things like that, where it's just like, oh, I'm 1,000% sure that you're the father, but you're 1,000% unsure that you cheated. Right. So when it actually happened that, you know, the guy wasn't the father, then they run off the stage confused and sad. Like,
well, maybe she had an Asian guy in a hotel. She doesn't remember his name. She barely remember it happened.
But that's, I mean, but you see things like that, and then people are drawn off of that, and then they sit there and they say. It brings it all the way back to social media because these are where all these videos are played. Yeah. These videos are played on social media. And then people look at that and then they generate an opinion from a single video that's played without knowing that there's almost 6 billion people in this world that's capable of being in a relationship, you know, sexually. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have at least 80% of the population of the world that's sexually active. So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you can't judge. This is the one thing that I hate more than anything is the generalizations of people. And it's like, you can't, just because you had a couple of bad experiences, just because you had a couple of things happen, you can't just sit there and say, well, you know, guys are just going to do this, or every time a girl cheats on me, I'm going to do that, or every time, you know, this guy cheats on me as a female, I'm going to do this. Like, it's crazy. And the best thing that I've heard today was today. I was on Messenger on my Facebook, and this girl was just like, "Well, I'm gonna start thinking like a nigga." Yeah. So what does a nigga think like? You tell me, because I'm confused.
Well, I thought for 1 second. I'm gonna try. You pause right here.
Guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what they say, you know. And okay, there are women that act like men, but when you act like men, you don't get as emotionally attached. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Men take longer to get emotionally attached than females, generally speaking. Not all the time, but generally speaking. When you see a man get emotionally attached really early in a relationship, the sex is phenomenal. Because we get physically attached way before we get emotionally attached.
It's true.
Like, and it'd be like a year into the relationship, and we are still not emotionally attached to a female, but we can appreciate the sex, and we can be like, that will bring our attachment, our emotional attachment, later on into the relationship.
That's just biology.
I'm thinking of every single guy that I've been with is like running through my brain. I'm like, okay, skip. Emotionally attached at first. Nope. And like, just like going through like, can't give my number, right?
Yeah.
Top 20, top 75, and like they were all.
I need no drink for this.
I'm just kidding.
But that's just what it is, though. It's just like you look at it, and it's just like and we also we pride ourselves on sex. Men pride ourselves on sex, especially in this generation. Me, I look at sex like it's fun. I look at sex like, you're having a good time, it's pleasuring, and it's fun. That's how I look at sex. Other men look at sex like it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, you're going to nut before, did the last dude nut before me? Or, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, they always compare themselves. They always try to, like, pride is such a poison in this situation and stuff like that. And it's like, it's bad. Like, it's really bad. Like, if a girl was to cheat on a guy, and I've seen this happen, guys will break down, they'll cry and stuff like that, get all emotional. But they're not being emotional because they're emotionally attached. They're emotional because their pussy was given to somebody else. Honest to God, it is not the emotional attachment. I can tell you that right now, because they'll turn around and cheat right back.
Some guys are definitely more sensitive than others.
Yeah, they're definitely more sensitive. The sensitivity comes from if you hurt their pride on a specific subject. That's where the sensitivity comes from.
Because of the fact that they're intimately involved with this woman, or are they sensitive because of the fact that they're emotionally involved with this woman?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I see what you mean, though.
That's why when they say dating is dead, is because of the fact that the majority of relationships that start is because of the physical.
Yeah.
Well, dating's dead because no one goes anywhere or does anything either. Because
there's so much Netflix and chilling that there's not enough, like, restaurant and knowledge, but there's, Netflix and chilling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to know somebody when you sit down and have a conversation with them. But then you realize if you start a relationship strictly by fucking them, after like the first 4 months, you get to know, like, damn, this bitch is stupid. And be like, oh, this guy's retarded. Like, this guy, I can't even talk to this guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you're not going to see that at first because you started the relationship because the sex was good.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's that law of attraction.
Yeah.
The law of attraction is the personality does not matter if you get to the physical stage. And now all of a sudden you guys are talking. I hate that talking shit.
That's like the premise, the only good premise about online dating, though, because the online dating, what you can do is you can talk to a person for a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever the case may be, before you actually meet this person and sit down and sleep with them. Unfortunately, of course, looking at the negative aspect is, say you meet this guy, he's the sweetest guy on the planet. He's been a sweet guy for 3 months because he's waiting to fuck you. Then after he fucks you, he's like, now he turns into a real asshole because he was an asshole because figure.
He ghosts you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You figure he could be talking to you, but also talking to 5 other girls at the same time.
It's called pillow talking.
Yeah. So it's definitely, it's fine lines and stuff, unfortunately, but...
I'd hate to admit I watched Love is Blind.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But, I mean, the premise was okay, except for the fact that you're forced to marry this person. But, I mean, as far as, like, reality shows go, at least it was a little different and not so...
Yeah, but I've listened to people break down...
That's like 90-day engagement.
All those bullshit reality shows and Bachelors and Love is Blinds, every single one of them, they end up in like 98% fucking divorce rates because you don't care about this person. You're doing it for fucking 15 minutes of sad fame and trying to get out there and stuff. And like, now I've been on a reality show, I want to be a major movie star. And like, no, you're not. Because the thing is, you're not a good actor. You're not a good person. You're not good anything. You're on some stupid bullshit reality show for an arbitrary reason. And it's like, it's so fake. It's not organic and stuff. It'd be cool if they actually put these people together where they weren't being filmed, or they didn't have some kind of like bullshit prize money at the end or something. But it's all like, yeah, these reality shows are so disgustingly fake nowadays, which is why I've also said for blue collar people out there, I wish more blue collar people would stop spending their hard earned money and their hard earned time watching these phony ass reality shows. These people are not real people. They're scumbags, and half the time too, they're just toxic, horrible human beings. It's like,
oh, look at Black Ink Crew. That's the show that I'm going to refer to right now, because exactly what you said, this is the show that pisses me off the most. Jen, you said something before that intrigued me and said, women are crazy. I don't think women are crazy.
They are.
I honestly don't think women are crazy.
Susan and I are just gonna sit over here and
we can have this discussion. We're definitely gonna have this discussion, this argument. But I don't think women are crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think, again, women are just, at times women just approach situations with a little bit more sensitivity than men. That doesn't make them crazy. It really doesn't, because
maybe it's just me then. I try to stab people and shit. Like,
but that if you get into an argument and you fight with somebody, that's different than as opposed to.
Spoken as someone who has witnessed you punching your boyfriend in the face. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that what caused them to want you to do that?
By emotion, right? You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just that men are not. We like to sit there and say, we like to take accountability off of ourselves by saying women are crazy. Like, oh, she's crazy, that's why she did that. No, you did something stupid, and that's why she swung on you. You didn't sit there. You didn't do what you were supposed to do as a man in the relationship, and she took it out on you.
See, and you're right. What time of the month was it that they did that?
Yeah.
Right.
Huh?
What time of the month was it that they did that?
When I'm in that emotional state, you are the person I want to talk to, because, like, I've had guys call me crazy, but it's like, well, I'm acting crazy because you drove me to this by the stupid shit that you did.
Yep.
Well, this is
men love to do that. They love to throw accountability on women and just simply call them crazy. Like when they sit there and say, "Oh, all Latinas are crazy," or this white girl stabbed me, or she did this, she did that. Yeah. It's just like, what you just did was make yourself look really weak by sitting there saying that. Oh, this woman is crazy. You're weak-minded. It's because of the fact that you don't know how to handle a woman in her emotional state. Mm-hmm. Women go through periods in their life and periods in the time of the month that their emotions are going to swing a little bit. Not extreme, but a little bit. It's only extreme if they got trust issues for the guy that they're currently with, because they either did something fucking stupid or, they were forgiven for an act that would tear apart most marriages and relationships.
Or they're insecure, or there's a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, but if you can't handle that...
All sources back to women are usually more emotional.
Yes.
On the forefront, you know what I mean?
Well, it's something people, because nowadays we live in the whole Me Too movement and this whole, equality bullshit, and it's like, of course I'll probably offend somebody by saying that, but, hear me out.
My opinion is 2/3 of them lie.
Well, I was going to say, again, I try breaking things down from a biological and a nature and just a common sense standpoint. It's not a knock against women, but this is why many people have argued and debated about that. Putting women in power, not exactly that saying women are stupid and they're incompetent and they're inferior. There's plenty of smart, intelligent women out there that are competent. But when it comes down to decision making, both these, Jen and Susan know this too. Women have a different level of hormones than we have, different chemicals and stuff too. Women make decisions oftentimes based on emotion. Mm-hmm. Men make decisions based on logic. The prime example, which has been used in countless movies, video games, comics, etc. It's like, okay, if you have one child, if you have to sacrifice one child to save 10,000, as a guy, a man will look down. Okay, if I have to kill one kid to save 10,000, that one child, no offense, isn't worth the life of 10,000 people, 10,000 other children. A woman will say, no, that I'm not going to sacrifice any kids whatsoever. I'm not going to sacrifice one kid, because they're looking at that kid from an emotional level and attachment level. As much as I love my son and I will give my life for my son, if the hard decision was made with Chris, some kind of zombie outbreak happened and stuff too. By sacrificing your son's life, we will save tens of millions.
We'll save the planet.
From a rational standpoint, from a economical standpoint, I'd be more inclined to say his mother. His mother's like, no, that's my baby. You're not going to kill my baby. Even though by not sacrificing your baby, you're costing the lives of tens of millions of other people. These are why decisions, for the most part, usually get made by men.
Yeah,
and it's not a knock against women, but everyone knows it too.
What about a gay man or a bisexual man or a transgender man that tends to be more sensitive and more emotional on the forefront?
Different hormones. Also too,
the transgender man, yeah,
this has been proven
he's
too.
He's got estrogen in his system more so now.
Higher levels.
With or without taking an estrogen supplement, just to do that. That's a whole social experiment.
I don't even think it's hard to say.
Well, I was going to say, even a gay man, if he's attracted to other men, he still biologically has a high level of testosterone, because there's plenty of gay guys who are world-class bodybuilders. They have a whole flood of testosterone that an average guy wouldn't have. Even still being a gay man, they're still thinking with the brain of a man. Yes, they may be attracted to other men, but their hormones and their bodies and their brains are still wired to be that of a male. And also, too, Everyone knows this who's a parent. Again, so like, I love my son to death. With the day he was born, I have a certain attachment to my kid. However, the mother has an attachment to her child. Me and Junior can never fucking fathom, because you guys carry this thing inside you for 9 months. It's just, you guys feel every day too this thing growing inside you. You're the ones who push it out. There's always an attachment that the mother has an attachment to her baby because she nurtured it, she raised it, it grew inside of her. The guy's attachment, and I hate to tell us to men if you want to hear this or not, it's the fact that our attachment is to protect that child. Yes, the mother wants to protect the child too, but she wants to protect the child for different reasons though. We don't have the attachment to our kids the way a woman can. So again, when it comes to making rash decisions, whether it's a military or a biological or like even like say a doctor, if you go to pull the plug, the guy looks at too, Chris, your mother's dying and stuff too, should we pull the plug? I'm thinking, well, she has a 10% chance of living, guys, pull the plug. Jen and Susan may say, well, no, Chris, she's our mother. That 10% is all we need. We're not going to give up on her whatsoever. You're thinking about this decision to save mom's life from an emotional standpoint, attachment level. Me and Junior would say, listen, guys, from logically, from mathematically, from a cold-hearted standpoint, it's 10%. It's not worth the risk. And that's what it comes down to.
Well, that's definitely situation-based.
But just in general, though, too, like you said, the decisions to, like I said, from guys from cheating, not always, but the majority of guys, when they cheat, is because it's physical, because they're not getting their dick sucked, they're not getting anal, whatever the case may be. The woman, yes, she will cheat. Yes, there is some physical aspect, but the 99% of the time she's cheating for is because you're not paying attention to her. You're mean to her. She doesn't feel like you emotionally care about her. So the sex comes later, but she's first cheating on you emotionally. Then she's cheating on you physically. The guy's different. The guy could be cheating on you with the biggest asshole on the freaking planet, you know? There you go. Whoa, wrong button. Sorry.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Oh, I can't turn off Jen's mic when I'm recording, so good to know. Yep, so I have to hit the button there, okay. So we have to turn off the mic there. Yeah, live and learn. So,
you're not recording right now, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good to learn this stuff. And well, at least if you know where we go with it.
You can edit this out later.
Yeah.
Because we're in the boiler room.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we said this on the first podcast that people actually made it to podcast number 2. Right now, we have 4 people sitting in chairs and Walmart tables next to a boiler in the fucking basement. So this isn't like, we're not in a major $1 million studio and stuff to where somebody's house.
We're at the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah, the waitress is the waitress. I need another drink.
It's like
Jack just came in with the axe.
I'm in my
Doc's riding around on his little tricycle.
I'm in my mother's basement, which is, again, this house put to the whole blue collar losers thing. Yes, we are fucking losers. We got all 4 of us live with family because we all can't all 4 of us can't afford our own place.
Yeah.
Well, going back to what you were saying about women being in power, this brings me to a specific name that I'm going to drop right now.
There we go.
And that is Betsy DeVos,
the
Secretary of Education, the worst possible example of who should be sitting in chair right now. It's not because of the fact that she's a woman. It's not because of the fact that she makes emotional decisions. It's because of the fact that she's thoroughly not doing her job. I don't care who sits in that seat, but it definitely should not be her. It can be any other woman, but just not her. And the reason for it is because of the fact that before she sat in that chair, we were ranked 11th in the world in terms of our educational standard. We are now down to 27th in just 4 years of our educational standard. Charter schools have a minimum of a 33% failure rate, but she is a private school person. She's a private school preppy. She doesn't know anything about public schools. So she makes these decisions about dumping money into charter schools, and 30% of their 30% of the money they dumped in charter schools have been for private jets and all this other stuff. Her favorite line of defense is it's been debunked by propaganda. No, it hasn't. And the fact that it hasn't been, that's one of the examples that, but if you attack her and you attack her demeanor, then you got radical feminists that'll sit there and say, oh, you're only attacking her because she's a woman in power. Yeah. I don't care who's in power. It could be Hillary sitting as Secretary of Education. It could be AOC sitting as Secretary of Education. I don't care who sits as Secretary of Education. Get rid of Common Core because it's stupid, and sit there because it's literally failing the students. Nobody understands Common Core, no matter how much you teach it. And the fact is, you don't even know what public schools need to thrive because of the fact that you're too busy sitting there saying, we need to dump this much more money into public schools or private schools. We need to do this. Charter schools are very important to the nation. How? When a third of them are failing. you have no idea what you're talking about. It's knowledge. To me, it doesn't boil down to gender. It doesn't boil down to anything other than the fact that it boils down to knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge to sit there and make the schools a better place, you're not doing your job. When a third world country is beating us out in educational standards.
Yeah.
When we went from 11th to 27th as a superpower country. We're dumb in other faces of the world. We're dumb. And that is a sad reality. That is not anything. If you're not doing your job, and that's healthcare too. We're also 27th in healthcare as well, and schooling. And there's a third world country beating us in both. A third world country's in the top 10. We're not as a superpower. Yeah. That tells you something right there. It doesn't matter who you are, what gender you are. If you don't know what you're doing, get out the seat. That's just what it comes down to. And that is as political as I'm going to get with this.
Yeah, and then again, that's what we talked about last week for Susan Jim with Al saying everything we say nowadays, these people on social media with their endless political agendas, it gets really just fucking annoying. We're just like, you criticize somebody, oh, it's because you're sexist or you hate women? No, I'm criticizing you because you're bad at your job. Or it's like, you criticize this guy because he's black? Like, no, because you're bad at your job. And nowadays, it's like, we can't have civil kind of discussions, whether it's video games, whether it's politics, whether it's just, and so we're not talking here to be political. We're just trying to talk about dumb, stupid shit like this, like gender equality and stuff too, and a double standard. But like, it's not about me and Junior hating women. If I hated women, I wouldn't have two women that are my family with me right now. It's just like, but these people who have these major agendas, it's like they always have this standard they're going for, and it's like it's that whole mentality of like, you have to agree with me no matter what I say whatsoever, and if you don't, here comes the is, the sexist, the homophobes, the racist. It's like all the is and stuff. It's like, no, have a civil conversation with somebody, have differences of opinions, and stop being just a total entitled asshole and stuff. It's like, and there's no point having conversations with you.
That's the thing with everybody, especially nowadays. Like, everything has to be cut and dry. You're Republican, you're Democrat, you're Independent, you're Catholic, you're atheist, and it just, you're straight, you're gay,
exactly.
I mean, it's just like everything has to have its little cookie cutter.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not Republican or Democrat. Like, I like views on both sides. I pick and choose, and I have the right to do that.
Yeah.
I'm bisexual because and just the list goes on. Everybody just wants it to be everybody, and it's these fanatical people that just want it.
Yeah, the fanatics are definitely the most vocal. I mean, they're definitely the minority, but they're most vocal, and that's been the way for the past 5-6 years and shit. And it's just something to talk about in the podcast about. We're just like, I'm so sick and tired of fanatical people. And it's whether it's pushing a black agenda or a gay agenda or a female agenda, you can have equality across the board, whether your skin color or your sexual orientation or your gender. There's equality, and then just being an overbearing asshole about it. And that's the thing with the whole feminist. Why most people hate the term feminist. They say the term feminazi, because when you think feminist, you think about a woman who just bashes all fucking men, hates all men. It's not true feminism. True feminism would be me and Susan
wanting equal rights.
Exactly, and equal friggin' pay. And the problem is like the whole wage gap. They over exaggerate. It's like, the wage gap and stuff, and the money women make, and it gets so fucking ridiculous. Because
see, that's one thing I wanted to actually mention is what's going on right now. The way these women are, the ones who claim to be feminists, they are not true feminists. True feminists are the women who grew up in like your mom, my mom, their time frame. Your mom, their time frame.
Yeah.
These women now, they are 100%. It's not equality, it's superiority.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
they want to be better than men.
And it's like they're not helping feminism, you're hurting feminism.
Yeah.
And this is like the problem we've seen too with comic books, video games, movies and stuff too. We see what's like, there's a difference between 80s action girls, 90s action women. Now we have 2020 action females. Action females now are just, they're kicking shit out of 20 guys into a room, which makes zero sense. They can never be hurt. They can never be fucking damaged. They can never fail.
They're overpowered.
They're overpowered. They're Mary Sue's and they're perfect and stuff. If you look at the women of the 80s, whether it's the Sarah Connors or the Ripleys, the 90s, even like Xena, I watched all of Xena. Xena got her ass kicked plenty of times.
Yeah.
Watch Kill Bill. Watch Kill Bill, how much damage the bride takes in that film. Nowadays,
Atomic Blonde.
What's Atomic Blonde? Yeah. But like nowadays, watch any top female action star, and she's perfect. She can never be hurt whatsoever. Hell, John Wick. Watch all 3 John Wick films we have. John is the best in the business, and the point is that John is nasty. Watch the movies. He does get hurt. He does take damage. John is not fucking perfect. But you make John Wick a woman now. She's just like, she one-shots everybody. She never gets hit. She has no weaknesses, no flaws. She's just like, she's perfect in every single way. And that's coming from this whole like radical feminist movement bullshit. And I mean, we don't have too much more time left, but this will definitely be a future podcast episode, because whenever we mention the name Amber Heard, that pisses all fucking everyone off in this room,
especially me,
about the whole. But now the whole Me Too thing. Now it said now. Like anything too, these are problem with fucking movements. Me Too should have been to out guys being scumbags, to out guys abusing women, to out fucking the equality. Now it's become a fucking witch hunt. And now it's getting ridiculous where it's like nowadays, you so much as sneeze at a guy and say, oh, he hit me, automatically he's guilty, he's a piece of shit, he gets fired from his job, he gets put into jail. And it's like, and comics have talked about this, there's been 10,000 YouTube videos about this. That's another double standard too for another podcast. Is like, now people are getting, women too, women are getting really sick and tired of like all these false women making shit up, lying about guys. And the problem is, when you keep doing this, the women out there who have actual problems, who are actual freaking victims, they want up, now no one's going to believe them because now you've overdone it.
It's not cried wolf. Yeah,
100%.
What it does is when you do, like, I'm not going to go too much into my hatred for Amber Heard, because I will literally be here for the next 45 minutes telling you exactly a bunch of different things about how much I hate her and why, about which, and I just wish every bad thing on her. But the thing is, it's just the fact that when you falsely accuse somebody, you weaken the real claims.
Exactly.
Because when you sit there and you say, oh, he did this to me, but he didn't. Now, when somebody else comes forward with the truth, everybody's going to sit there and say, well, is it really true? Did he really do it? What did you do to put yourself in that position? Did you sit there and did you hit him? Did you hit him first and then he hit you back? Like, what happened there? Now everybody wants the full story of things because people have cried wolf before. Because they see something has happened, and then now people are doing certain things to try to edge the situation in their favor.
And in the end, like, the culture in which we live in, any woman who's ever been raped, they already have a hard enough time coming forward and saying, like, something happened to them. Any woman who's been abused, any woman who's in an abusive relationship in any way, shape, or form. When you see people who do shit like that, that just makes it harder for them.
Which, to their credit, I do like seeing on Facebook and on social media more. There's plenty of women comment and stuff too, and women like Amber Heard, they make women sick. And they do, whether it's Jenner or Susan or just women I see on Facebook. Plenty of women are like, say, this Johnny Depp situation. There is a million women saying Johnny Depp's own fucking ex-wives are just saying like this is a lying bitch. And he's not that kind of person and stuff. And it would be no different than me.
Not just his ex-wives, every woman he's ever interacted with.
I'm just saying, just for example, but yeah. It's just like, but that's saying more and more people need to stand up, and more women, if you see someone being a lying asshole and abusing this whole Me Too thing or whatever the case may be, you need to, like, step up and defend this person and say, no, this woman is lying her ass off, and it's like she shouldn't be believed. But that's another double-edged standard we live in too. This whole, like, believing people just because someone pointed the finger. And said Bill Burr, that was part of Bill Burr's whole, like, last comedy special with the Paper Tiger, I love the
Carol fucking Baskin.
God, freaking Tiger King. So.
Oh man, I mean, it's we gotta understand something right now. It says social media does not dictate our lives.
No, it doesn't.
And with a lot of situations like this, a lot of what we're going to be talking about over the course of the next few episodes is going to bring us right back to social media, because you see posts about it all the time. Like when we talked about in the beginning of the podcast, where girls do certain things that guys, girls can't do certain things that guys do because they get looked at a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's bullshit. And it's like, they actually shared memes on Facebook talking, like, oh, well, if every key can unlock the lock, then what's the purpose of the lock? That has nothing to do with sexual activity.
It's funny, okay.
But people are so stupid. But people are so stupid and really think that at the end of the day, like, oh, because a woman has sex with more guys. A lot of women just like sex.
Yeah.
A lot of women just really, because it's the pleasure of it, them getting off of like the actual physical, thing, whether it's with another girl or whether it's with a bunch of different guys. Again, I said this before, and this is my stance. I don't care.
They could just want to have an orgy. It's okay.
Exactly. If you want to go and grab 10 other people that are just as sexually active as you, and you all fuck each other in the same room, whatever. Yeah. It is what it is. Like, it's just like, but people have to have something to say. What it is that when you go on social media, somebody doesn't disagree. Somebody has to have something to say, and then you have the sheep that follows through with it.
Yep.
They'll sit there and they'll say, well, this person, oh my God, this person doesn't, I agree with that person, so I'm going to comment and I'm going to say something just like he did, so it's going to make it seem like that my voice actually means something, when it really doesn't. Because people like us that's sitting here right now on this podcast, we already know social media does not run our lives.
No.
We're going to continue to be the same person that we are. I'm going to continue to be the same piece of shit that I am, regardless of how many comments is on Facebook about me and my voice or whatever about the type of person that I am.
I mean, it's like Al said too. No matter what you say, you're not going to make fans of everybody. It's like it doesn't matter what good of a person you are, but because I don't want to make this too long. My whole premise, I guess, this entire episode was just that I think looking forward, so we can't change the world, we can't change people's minds. All we can do is to get people like us, like-minded people, whether it's at 5 listeners or 5,000 listeners. And looking forward, said I believe in comedy, I believe in busting balls. The fact that my sister fucked more girls than I have either means I'm a loser or she's a whore. I don't know. I mean, it's a combination of both. But what's point? We can still
high five, Jen.
We can still joke about it and still have fun and shit. But also too, you can still make jokes about women being promiscuous. But looking forward though too, it's like I don't think that the double standard, will it change in our lifetimes? Probably not. But looking forward, I don't think that you say if a woman tells me she fucked 50 guys in her lifetime, I'm not going to look down upon her compared to if she had sex with 5 guys. And I don't think that, even for me, and I think this gets insane. We hear like, Gene Simmons or was it Wilt Chamberlain fucked like 2,500 women. And even I'm just like, dude, I mean, even I'm just like, you fucked 2,000 women. Like at that point, I'm not even like envious of you. That's kind of gross. And it's coming from a guy like, I love sex, I love porn, I love women. But like, when I hear about some guy fucked 2,800 women in the course of like 10 years, I'm like, that's just nasty, man. I mean, at some point, lucky the 70s and 80s didn't have the STDs we got nowadays, but it's like, I wouldn't even be bragging about that shit. Like, that's overkill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really gross.
Yeah.
Well, just to like really sum things up with all that, and it's, again, none of us are going to change. Based on social media comments, based on social media standards, because my standard of living is not based around a post on Facebook.
No.
My standard of living isn't going to be what you tweet about me, 2 weeks from now when we start making the page.
But yeah, but I would like to, it's like if you agree with us, if you want to have open discussion and say, Chris, you're right, it is double standard. Say, you know what, dude, when I was in my teens, I did kind of think that these women were sluts for banging a lot of guys. Now I'm older, in my 20s or 30s. Now I am more, I think more and stuff too. You know what, you're right, I shouldn't be shaming them. That's the whole point of just making this episode, which is why I said, so I don't want to just have me, Junior, and Al talking about from a male standpoint what this is like. I wanted to get 2 females, their perspectives and stuff, and they agree too. And we all have people listen to this, whether you're man or woman, old or young, black, white, whatever. It's like society definitely has this double standard, and I'm hoping that, like I said, we won't change nothing, but like we can talk about it.
Sure can.
So,
sure can.
But we got like, I want to kind of kill us at the hour mark because supposedly Al's come over tomorrow. I'd like us to do this all again tomorrow, talk about some more shit. So, and like, I mean, next minute, any kind of closing stuff that Jen or Susan want to say?
I'm not a whore, but I'm real life bisexual. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Anything you got, Susan?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh no, definitely get you more. I think I'd like, we don't have any kind of sayings or quotes yet, but just said.
I just want Junior to make comments about his dad for like 5 seconds.
Want him to, because that happens every single time that I'm a guest on the show.
We can't go one podcast without Junior talking about his overweight father.
I mean, with the double standard, I mean, there's really no double standard when it comes to him. If you're stupid, you're stupid, and there's no double standard for stupidity, right? Especially in his case, there's just no double standard for that. You can't have a double standard for somebody like him. Like, you just can't.
Yeah. I've been seeing this more and more, and again, like I'm on Joe's like number 250, 251 and stuff too. I know he's on like 1200 right now. I don't know in the past. I listened to clips on Joe Rogan. I know for me, Howard Stern, I love Howard. I've listened to Howard for like 30 years now. Howard has definitely changed a lot in some ways I don't agree with, and I'll talk about that later. But at least for us two, we're on episode 2 right now, and I said episode 1, I'm going to say episode 100 if we get that far. I still want to make our motto is that the 4 of us and our buddy Al, like you, we're all blue-collar people, we're all hard workers, we all bust our ass, we're all unappreciated. So I'm going to say that in episode 1, 2, to episode 200. Like, look, I don't want your money, I don't need your fucking money. I got my own money, I got my own damn bills. If you listen to this, don't give us anything, I don't want a dime, take care of you and your own, and focus on important shit.
It's all about the vocal support than monetary support.
Yeah, it's like
it's all about the bitches.
I'd rather you tell thousands of people, hey, listen to these guys because we relate.
Because we're keeping 100%. So Joe was on episode 1200. His shit's free. This shit's going to be free. I'm not going to take your damn money. I don't want your money. I want you to just sit back, grab a beer or something, grab a Jack and Coke, grab some friends, be at work, and just listen to some stupid shit with 4 assholes in a basement. Because that's literally what we are. Because the 4 of us ain't good people. The 4 of us ain't thin. And the 4 of us are not winners. We're blue-collar losers like you guys. So hopefully we'll get one recorded tomorrow. And thank you for listening. And definitely, once we get our social media stuff started tonight or tomorrow, we'll be tagging it and how to get in contact with us. So thank you.